ABC is presenting on power. The judge for power has 60% of the total score for that team on power.
Our mechanical energy does is, as it cuts through the flux of our magnetic energy, current is being generated, and of course we have voltage as well. That is now what transmits into our electrical energy.
Team Aspire, an overview. We are a solutions development startup. We are focused on e-learning with a main emphasis on enabling access to education.
Corruption. This can be prevented also, because once you are informed, everybody knows how much you are making from tourism. Everybody is informed. Even the marketing men know how much you are making from tourism. Then you can prevent. Nobody can come and steal.
There is a difference between magnetic levitation and diamagnetic levitation. Now, in China, we have magnetic levitation, in which way we have a guided rail system. And that guided rail system, the reason why it's that expensive is that superconductors are very expensive. All the rails, all the lanes, they linked to superconductors. Superconductors are the conduct electricity with zero resistance.
Go back. Yeah, see, just stop here. Yeah, this is it. It's called uconnect.com. Very similar to the way you have iTunes.com. So even without your regular iPad or Mac devices, you can still, with your Windows devices, tap into iTunes.com. Similar model we're also like learning from. So we have uconnect.com. That's the backend for the hardware.
So who's going to be responsible for building this software? I mean the app side of it, because you know you're going to need a lot of resource. I mean, I assume, for example, that if I want to book on chemistry, there should be at least 20 or 25 of it being used in Nigerian universities. So who's going to be responsible for ensuring that I can speak to the authors of this book, get their patents, put it on it, break it down into forms where I can access what I want. For example, I mean, I can read my Bible online, I can highlight, I can put bookmarks, and I can do all of that. So, I mean, who's basically going to be responsible for managing this at the back end?
Sorry, come forward a little. Next slide. Yeah, stop here. It's a pity you can't see this clearly. The resolution is supposed to be from distance, but it's too close. We have some partnership with some what's called content distributors already. Because our own strength is in technical departments, so we partner with Alime Media.
No, that's just what I want to hear, because I want to hear that you're sticking to your core competence, and you already have a partnership with the guys who are bringing their core competence to build the app store, to manage it, and ensure that it's up to date. Okay, that's fantastic. That's all I need to hear.
Look at iPad. Some people don't even know what iPad is. Forget it. I told you a story of this thing now, the what happened at this subsidy period. Some people don't even know what subsidy is. They just shout. One man, I saw the man on AIT, he was shouting, "No! Put it back! Why did they remove it? Why did they remove it? They should put it back, please." The AIT guy came to him and said, "Sir, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What did they remove? What are you talking about? We need to know." He said, they should put it back. He said, "What are you saying?" He said, I don't know. They should just put it back. So you are shouting. Some of us are saying iPad. If you see iPad now, you go say, now wow, which kind of iron be this?
I'm here to present to you the idea of generating electricity using the landfill gas. Next slide, please. Yeah, the landfill is a dump site where we have a lot of refuse being displayed on the ground, and already this is a problem to our environment because they emit some kind of hazardous waste that contributes to the greenhouse gases that causes global warming. Next slide, please. Now, the type of waste that you can find on the landfill, you get the household waste, you get the industrial waste, you get the agricultural, the organic waste. But the main process that forms the gas we are talking about is methane. Now, is the bacterial decomposition. Next slide, please.
Coming of the colonial master. During the stay of the colonial masters and after the stay of colonial masters, so taxation is not a new thing. But the problem is effective management, and that's what we want to talk about. Now, what are the problems of taxation in Nigeria? We have poor accounting records, bribery and corruption, lack of awareness by taxpayers and laws to punish people that do not pay tax are not implemented. I'm not permitted to ask questions, but some of us have businesses here. I know students are not supposed to pay tax, but the last time you have an SME, you have a small medium enterprise, when last did you pay tax? That's the problem we're having in Nigeria. That's what I've come to talk about. My next slide, please. Now, the innovation I want to bring to Nigeria from Ingenius through Ingenius is simple. It's not going to take a long while to come. If Ingenius endorses it today, tomorrow it starts working. That's how simple it is. We don't have to go to do research and everything to get it. That's innovation. Now, the innovation I'm bringing is creative and effective taxation software / database. And the next is using automated teller machines. If we all know what automated teller machines are, that's ATM, how to use your ATM to pay tax. And the next is creating an effective database. I know somebody from the tax sector will be saying the tax sector already has a database. Now that I'm so sure you have problems with the database because the woman in the market hasn't paid tax and you don't know how she pays tax. You don't know how she's paid tax. Please, can I go to my next slide? Now, the use of automated teller machines, ATMs. Everybody know what ATM is. Automated teller machines. My next slide. I don't have more time. Now, it's not clear. This is a graph from the Federal Bank of Nigeria showing the number of people that use ATM in Nigeria. It's 80% of people. I don't know if you're seeing this clearly. 80% of people in Nigeria use electronic payment via ATM. Now, if 80% of people in Nigeria do electronic payment via ATM, how many percent of this 80% pay tax? Why? If 80% can pay NEPA bills, buy recharge card, and pay for their BIS on the ATM, it also means they can pay tax. Let me go to my next slide.
Next slide, please. I'm sure you guys know what this is. Okay, this is the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Would you imagine that this statue brings about 350,000 people to Brazil every year? Would you imagine that it generates about $14 million in revenue for the Brazilian government? This is what tourism can do. This is how much more Nigeria could be earning from tourism. Next slide, please. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, this is what Eco Grand Resort will look like. The underlying idea is to create a meeting point for tradition and modernization. And if you take a look at the layout, it's going to be shaped like Africa. And it'll be lined by palm trees, and there'll be helicopter service for tourists to appreciate this concept. Right down below here, we have a couple of power stations. There'll be a biomass station, and there'll be a natural gas station. Now, this is in line with our resolve to make sure that this resort is eco-friendly, to keep the past and the future in one line.
Compressed air is not a natural resource. You have not said anything about how that compressed air will be generated. And if the energy used to generate the compressed air is more than the energy you have brought out, then that project is not a workable project. So
have you built a prototype?
We haven't built a prototype. We need investment.
Have you used any CAD simulation?
Yes, we did simulation ICs.
Now that's a video.
Show what you're going to provide by doing that in Nigeria. Are you generating employment? Are you going to be giving back to society? It's just going to be lower emissions. I mean, you basically just came and you told us a lot of stories, took us around the world. We went to South Africa, we went to Japan, and then we came back to Nigeria. So I'll appreciate if you can take it up. I would like to give you an opportunity to take it up. What exactly is your presentation about?
Ingenius actually is just to encourage people. So forget about the maybe competition, the prizes. I believe you should just come here, learn, understand, and apply exactly what you've learned and become something. Become a genius actually. Yeah.
So Ramon Bello, as he comes to give out the prizes to the wonderful winners of this wonderful competition. Ingenius 2012, the 1.0 version. Can you put your hands together for the acting VC? Thank you very much, sir. Can you come here? A very humble man. Okay, he wants to join them, at least for photographs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. We want to know who is going home with that fat check. And I know that somebody's life will never remain the same after today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the second runner-up for this wonderful competition, please put your hands together for Team Diamond. Can you step out, Team Diamond? Yeah. Second runner-up, they go home with a check of 750,000 naira. Please. Ladies and gentlemen, without so much of waste, we don't want to waste any more of your time. The first runner-up is Team Funab.
It's the remix, yeah. The
Team
remix,
Funab,
yeah.
1,500,000 naira. Conceal it with investment. 1,000,000.
First of all, you're the type of
500 naira.
Walk down the street every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, celebrate them. Put your hands together for them.
Stay in line. Sexual corruption, cause I'll kill anyone for your time. Yeah. Even though I make real dough, you're the reason they'll be
Team Funab spoke on transport.
Yeah. Even though I got much more, I don't mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time is here. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? We want to know who is going on with a check of 2.5 million naira. No be beans. No be beans. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is investment. Team Aspire. Ladies and gentlemen, history has been made in the University of Lagos. First of its kind, Ingenius 2012 1.0 version. I tell you, this is awesome. This is awesome. Nobody is even snapping pictures with them. Their family members are not here. Their colleagues, you are not here. Come snap pictures with them. Come snap pictures with them. Take pictures. Team Aspire. Thank you. Happy spending and wise spending. That's all I'll say to you. So ladies and gentlemen, can you put your hands together once again for the acting vice chancellor of the University of First Choice. And at this point in time,